prepared. I'll ask for everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'll ask for a moment of silent reflection, please. Thank you very much. Bill Guyben is on vacation. He was going to attempt to Zoom this meeting tonight. He is not on the Zoom meeting yet. I will advise you if he comes on. He's out, I think, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so on a cruise. So he is not in the attendance at this time. So, agenda approval. I don't have anything to add to the agenda. Does anybody else have anything to add?
No, I don't.
So can I get the agenda approval, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resident statements. I have Mr. Murniak has signed up, but he wants to speak at the end of the meeting. And then I have the mayor, the deputy mayor, and Jim Fattanti. You guys are already on the agenda, so there's no need to address the meeting yet. So moving on, we will ask the Niagara Military Affairs Council to make their annual presentation. Mr. Cooper. Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you. I just wanted to come and thank the residents of Lewiston and you folks for your support of the Niagara Military Affairs Council. It's hard to believe that it's been 28 years since we were originally threatened with closure and 18 years since 2005 wreck, which was a more serious situation. But we continue to advocate for the base in Washington and in Albany and at various levels of the Air Force. And we continue to be a liaison between the base and the community and work strategically for the base for planning for the future. So just want to thank you for your support.
Well, you're more than welcome. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Usually you make a big presentation, and I know it's the same board that hears it every year, but if you look in this crowd right now, they're all kids here from the high school.
Okay.
If you want to take 2 minutes and just explain about the base and the BRAC and how the attempts to close our base and how important it is to the community, just in a nutshell, so these young ladies and gentlemen understand.
Sure. Well, there is legislation within Congress called base realignment and closure, and we always refer to it as BRAC, as an acronym. And that process can be enacted at any time by Congress to have the military review all of their bases, not only in the United States, but in the world, and to make a decision as to which ones should be closed and which ones they no longer need. The Air Force at this time says they have 20% excess of installations in the United States. So they could enact that again if they felt that the government was, federal government was in need of doing that. We all know there's a lot of debt. So that could happen again in the future. But they just review, just like General Motors would review a plant and say, well, this one's not needed anymore for whatever reason. And so that process happened 18 years ago was the last time. It was a very serious time because they had closed the entire base. The time before that, where they were just trying to close down the 914. So as a community, the way the process works is each community has to put together a committee to defend the base. It's not done by the base itself. And so 28 years ago, when we went through the process the first time, is when NIMAC came into being. And then we were ready to go in 2005.
And how many employees are at the base? I know it's the largest.
Okay, as far as the base is concerned, there are 3,000 employees. It is the largest employer in Niagara County. And It's about 1,000 acres of land there, and there are two main units, what the Air Force refers to as wings, and that's the 914 Air Refueling Wing, which you're very familiar with, the air refueling aircraft that they fly, and then the 107th Attack Wing, which flies the MQ-9 Reaper, which is what people refer to as a drone. The Air Force likes to call them a remotely piloted aircraft. But they're flying all over the world, taking out bad guys all over.
But they're never here, correct? It's
No.
just flown from here.
Yes, they're 24/7 out there. That unit has about 800 people in it, and they are working all the time, flying aircraft all over the world. But they did fly one in here recently, but for the most part, they're just flown around the world.
Now, when I was a kid, was it F-15s that were there, or F-16s?
F-16s.
F-16s. So now it's changed a little bit, but I mean, the history of that base, I mean, those F-16s used to fly out of there, you took it for granted.
Yeah.
And it was like Top Gun every day out there. So the base is a huge asset to Niagara County, and we appreciate everything you've done and the mission you've taken on as a civilian to save the base.
Thank you.
So we appreciate it, and we're happy to participate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thanks.
Department head statements. Donna, anything?
No.
Captain, anything? Tim, anything? Jackie, you're on the agenda. Deputy Supervisor Conrad, you promised. You promised. We'll come back to you. Mitch Zano.
Yeah. We've got 3 quotes going to the park. We'll shoot them over.
And you were going to go with Niagara Frontier?
Frontier.
Okay. So for both machines, it's $28,112.
Correct.
Okay. And Jackie, you already discussed it with Mitch where the money was coming from?
Yes, and it's actually one of the budget revisions I will be asking you later to approve.
Okay. So can I get a motion to purchase those 2 machines from Niagara Frontier Equipment Sales?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Can I ask one question?
Yes, go ahead.
Are those larger, or are they standards, or what are they?
They're 0 turns, they're 72-inch.
Oh,
This was the John Deere that was used.
Okay.
Our valve.
Just idle curiosity. That's all I got.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else?
That's it for right now.
So Mr. Guyvan just informed me that his Zoom, he connected his Zoom to open, and he will talk to us tomorrow. So he will not be in attendance at the meeting tonight. Bob Lane, anything?
I need one.
Jeff Ritter, anything?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Let's see, we'll start with Tim Smith. Anything?
We had our Fest of Fall a couple weeks ago. Despite the rain, we had a great turnout. The families and kids enjoyed themselves. The big event coming up this Saturday, 1 to 3 at Kiwanis, is our trunk or treat. Everybody's welcome to come on out and have a good time with that. November 2nd at the Senior Center, we have our Lego night. Please register online. Follow us on Facebook if you can. We have all our events on there, and then also our ice skating starts the day after Thanksgiving. Goes all the way through the end of January.
Are you still looking for sponsors?
We've had several sponsors right now. We're always looking for sponsors. We've got a lot of people already doing it, so it's a great
Okay.
feedback in the community. Keybait being one of them. Tim Hortons. There's 2 others too that are still out there that are coming in. So, but we always welcome anybody that would like to help out.
Okay. Thank you very much. Melinda Olick from the Senior Center.
Yes, we're continuing with our exercise programs every day. Very well attended, especially yoga on Mondays. We probably could have had about 60 people. Unfortunately, we only had room for about 45. So some people are going to go to the Red Brick, which is good for the Red Brick.
just to give you a heads up, we're having a second meeting with National Grid for the parking lot tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So we'll be out there tomorrow looking for possible light locations for the parking lot.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have any lights.
No, I know. We wish you had them by now.
Well, everybody's like, why didn't you turn the parking lot lights on when we had that public hearing? Well, I turned the lights on now. Yeah, but we could probably, like I said, borrow some temporary lighting from highway if it's gonna take too long.
Yeah.
Because it is dark,
Yes,
but.
and it's going to get dark earlier after this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the meeting minutes from the work session on October 12th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I have to abstain.
Okay. Motion carried, 3-0. Audit payment, Councilman Myers.
For October 23rd, 2023, I move to approve the regular abstract claims in 23-02777 through 23-02922 and recommend payment in the amount of $245,494.18 plus a post audit of $5,835.82.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We have nothing under pending or old business. New business, residents or public correspondence. Anything, Donna?
Yep. Yes. The town received a letter from the Niagara Falls U.S. Marathon and Historical Lewiston 5K Run is going to be held in April 2024. I forwarded the map and all the information to the police department. A majority of it is in the village, but some of it is in the town. So they just wanted to let everyone know when it's going to be and the route, and you all received that. And like I said, it has been forwarded to the police department, so they're aware of it, and they do work directly with them, so they just wanted the town board to know that.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Under my liaison report, we have the MOA with the CSEA union. We have an agreement, so I'll read it real quick. It's a memorandum of agreement. This understanding by and between the town of Lewiston and the Civil Service Employees Association, whereas the town supervisor and CSEA are parties to a collective bargaining agreement covering the period January 19th, 2019 through December 31st, 2023. And now therefore, in consideration of the mutual agreements and covenants contained herein, it is understood and agreed by and between the parties as follows. The town and the CSEA agree that the contract language in section 10.11 shall be changed to 10.11 reimbursement arrangement. The town shall contribute to each employee's reimbursement account the amount of $3,000 for a single plan or $6,000 for a two-person family plan for the December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2024 plan year. These contributions are intended to be used towards the employee's deductible, co-insurance responsibility, and/or premium contributions. Any unused portion of the town contributed money shall not carry over from year to year and will remit to the town. This change is a result of the increase in the deductible of the health insurance. The parties agree that this agreement is without precedent or prejudice to either party with respect to future matters. What I would ask for is a motion to accept this MOA and for Supervisor Broderick to sign it.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So we have been presented with a letter from the village for a village greenway project. We have the mayor, we have the deputy mayor, and we have Jim Fatanti to make a presentation in regards to a new pavilion at Academy Park. Welcome.
Thanks for having us tonight. And we've had correspondence from village board. We plan to ask for your support in greenway funding to build a pavilion in Academy Park. To answer any of your questions. As I said,
village paying anything towards this?
We may, we just have to see it, how it plays out.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
It's going to be right where, the tent where they serve the peach,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
essentially the same
In that
footprint.
location there, but we have to move it around, because there is a 12-inch water line that goes right through that park.
Oh,
Right.
Okay,
okay.
in fact, our engineer, or DPW guys were up there today, and they're kind of looking at it, how it's laid out. We actually had to move it over a few feet,
yeah.
just because,
Yeah, where that
they,
line is.
and they lined it all up, and painted all the lines so that we know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go to the park, he actually labeled it in the grass, where you can see where it goes right to that, the roadway going in. That's like the end of it, and then it goes towards the band shell, so it's about, 30 feet from
If
the
you look
band
at this
shell.
drawing, which you.
Yeah,
In fact, Carol, maybe this one, see if I have a second one. You can see approximately where it's gonna lay out.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take over.
Thanks, Gary. Okay. I had one other question. Have you put this out to bid?
No, I just got estimates for it because until we get the permission to do it, then it will go a bid.
Okay.
And I know it has to go prevailing wage.
Yes, but we do a prevailing rate.
Yeah.
Prevailing wage, and it's got to be a sealed bid.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be honest with you, I got a letter last week. I got no correspondence from you guys other than a letter last week. We've already approved $90,000 in village projects in Greenway. $60,000 for your art signs and $30,000 for the artwork done to the bathroom. We rescinded the $60,000, but we made a promise to the Art Council that if you guys in the village resolve where you're going to put these signs, that we would fund that project. So you're asking for $250,000 on top of that, which is $340,000, which is 67% of the $510,000 in Greenway money we get. So I wish you would have come to me before we promised $90,000 to the Council of the Arts. So,
Well, that being said, we have to apply to the Greenway before November 14th to get it built next year. And what would happen is it would set us back another year
for what?
to build. I was hoping to build in the spring, so.
The pavilion. The pavilion you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's too late to go on the November 14th docket.
I talked to Lisa Vitello, and she said if we get it in by the 14th, that it could go for the January funding.
Yeah, January funding.
Yes. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. No, I understand that, but I received no communication from you other than a letter. I received more communication from other people in regards to this pavilion. I think you should have reached out to me, to be honest with you. So,
We had talked about it in the past, and that kind of stalled, and,
Yeah.
we've been going back and forth, and like I say, donors stepped up to do it, so I thought now is the time we had to go to our village board, for them to
Yeah.
approve, and they did last Monday, so.
yeah. Well, we're going to approve it, or I'm going to make a motion to approve it. I'm going to make a motion to approve $190,000. That's $250 minus the $60 that we're going to give to the Council on the Arts. We already gave $30. But there's going to be some stipulations. I want Tim Masters involved in the inspection of the final plans before they go out to bids. I want it to be sealed bids. I want to see the bids when they come in, and then I want Tim to be involved in the inspections of the project. I asked Tim what were some of the important aspects of it, and he wants to be involved where the footings of the pre-pour with rebar installed, soil test provided prior from testing agency, concrete columns pre-pour with rebar installed. He wants to be there for inspection of that. The floor and haunch pre-pour with rebar, wire, and plastic installed. Framing with truss bracing installed as per stamped truss drawings. Stamped truss drawings provided prior to review. He wants to be involved in the final inspection. If there's any electrical, we'd like to see the electrical inspection. And then I guess the village DPW to install conductors and grade and seed. Is that what we talked about? Because I've met with Jim once today on it. So I will make a motion with those stipulations that we provide $190,000 of Greenway funding towards this pavilion.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Do we have any questions? Any questions at all? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So $190,000.
So that's 190 for the
For the pavilion alone, and with the 60,000 that will be going once you guys resolve the issue with the ARPA.
We'll probably have those just in the gallery park. We
Okay.
didn't want them on Center Street, so
Right.
we're just moving forward. with
Yeah.
Having them in the park.
And once it's all resolved, I promised Maria Fortuna, Dean, that we would fund that as well.
We did approve them the other night, just in the park. We had approved them previously, but it was the location, and they might tweak the design a little bit, so
Okay.
you should see that.
Okay, and that's fine, and I told Maria that to take the whole project to Greenway on the 7th of, I think it's the 7th of November, at the host communities. If it hasn't been resolved, we'll approve the 30, and then the next time, we'll only have to go to host communities, we'll not have to go to Greenway.
Okay. good.
So, okay, thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Vic, real quick, I checked so we had paid for the Christmas lights, but we got nothing so far on the 2 charging stations that we were gonna take care of. Yeah, I guess Jackie looked at it today, and we have the record of paying for the Christmas lights, but we have nothing on the charging stations.
I know they're backlog, but I did see a bill on it.
Donna, did you see any correspondence in that? Did you see anything? Yeah. Okay?
The
Thanks.
charging stations are in, aren't they?
They're in, they've been operating for about 3 months.
Yeah.
They're being used quite a bit.
Yeah.
Going up at like tops and keys. Way more.
Down there.
Okay. Thank you. CDL insurance, drug and alcohol. So during COVID, we were part of a drug and alcohol testing policy through the county, that during COVID, we were dropped from their pool. So by law, federal law, we have to be in a Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration drug and alcohol clearinghouse. So we, basically, I'm going to read this letter. It says the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. The clearinghouse is a secure online database that employers are required to use to query all CDL drivers employed by them to check CDL driver violation histories. The town is required by DOT Rule 49 CFR Part 40, Section 40.25 to register an account, and all CDL drivers must be queried. Also, we are required to report drug and alcohol violations and check that no current or prospective employee is prohibited from operating due to a previous violation. We'll be working with OcuStar Workstar Compliance to administer the requirements of the clearinghouse and to comply with DOT drug alcohol random testing. We were previously using Western New York Occupational Health for our random pools, but they dropped us since they reduced their consortium group due to staffing shortages. The town has a relationship with OcuStar for physicals with the fire departments. OcuStar will also be assisting the town in updating our drug alcohol abuse program policies. So I would ask for a motion as a professional service to go into contract with OcuStar for Workstar Compliance, which is a federal law, and for the supervisor to sign the contract.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
With a question,
Go ahead.
are there not a lot of companies doing this?
No.
Yeah, we're kind of limited, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a relationship with OcuStar,
With,
Fireman's Physicals.
oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay, so, motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Anything else with that, Al?
No, that's
good. Okay. Anything legal? Do you have anything, Al?
Not today, thank you.
Anything engineering, Bob?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, a couple meetings ago, you had authorized HC to prepare plans and specs to bid the second pavilion at Riverfront Park. I asked the board permission to authorize advertisement to solicit bids once we go through the final drawings for the town and I'm satisfied with it.
Okay, can I get a motion to have, once Tim approves the final plans, to send those out to bid for our second pavilion at Lower River Road Park?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's it.
Jeff, anything? No, I asked you already. Finance, always something with finance.
In your board packet, I presented you with 3 2023 budget reviews, and at this time, I ask for your approval to process those.
Yes, I'll make that motion, except them, I discussed them with Amy today. So I'm with Jackie.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, a second as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Also tonight, I presented before you on the diocese the 2024 preliminary budget, and I ask your acceptance of that.
I'll make that motion, accept it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I also request to set the public hearing for the 2024 budget be November 9th at 5:30.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. And it'll be here in the town hall.
Correct, in the same room.
Okay.
That's to approve the budget.
Correct.
And this,
Discuss.
the public hearing. Anybody have any comments on the budget? Anything else? Thank you very much. Councilman Jacoby,
Nothing tonight.
Councilman Morial.
Yeah, we have some bunk beds on Auctions International that were in Stonehaven Park. We'd like to, we got a bid for $105. And I'd like to make a motion to accept that bid so we can move forward cleaning up the park.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mitch, are they coming to pick them up?
Well, it hasn't.
You don't know if it was the guy that you were in contact
I
with?
don't know if that was or not,
Okay.
if they got them or not.
Do you know any information?
Well, the higher bid, his name is on there, but we haven't approved. Tomorrow when we come in, we'll let Auctions International know that the town board has accepted
Okay.
the bid, and then that's when the ball starts rolling for them to come
Okay.
pay the big bucks and take the mats away.
Okay. And Councilman Myers?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight? Okay. Resident statements, Mr. Murnian.
John Marie and Rich Road. Couple of things. One, first one. The last couple of meetings, you guys have approved a lot of money for audits. How much does the town spend on audits? I mean, we're not.
No. Audit payments. So when we say approval of, or, audit payments, that's every bill in the town. That's every check we write. Jackie, what would be some of the items?
It's not an outside audit.
No.
Okay.
No.
So that,
Every bill we pay has to be approved at a town board meeting.
yeah, I understand.
So if we hired your son to do work for the town, he would submit a voucher.
Correct.
We would put it in, that's part of the audit that's approved. And then, so tomorrow, I'll be signing a bunch of checks that we pay for services.
Right, but isn't an independent coming in and auditing and stuff?
That's when Drescher Electric comes in.
Right,
And they audit us annually, and I think you were at the meeting when they came in and did the audit.
okay, just clarification.
Yeah, no,
Other businesses and stuff, when my wife ran things,
Yeah.
an audit was an independent.
Right.
So,
Each month, a different councilman audits the bills.
Right, I understand.
That's why it's,
But I mean, in case there's anybody else in this audience that was asking
Yeah.
a question too.
it's day-to-day bills, basically.
Okay,
These kids just want to get their paper signed and get out of here.
Bill's not here. The next thing is the kickoff that you guys had for the code revision here in the town.
Yes.
I don't want to see that, losing any steam. I think it's really important to the town. I understand there's some items now that have been with the attorney, for review and stuff. You guys all of you, I think, if I remember in that kickoff, decided to be a point person, liaison for the different departments and stuff, so, you know, let's keep the ball rolling. I think this is important. You got some real key things coming up here, you know, the moratorium on a couple items right now that, you know, solar and the Airbnb, those are gonna be big items, and like, listen, Delmonte said the last meeting, you know, it's the legacy, you know, the decisions that you guys make have a big impact going on down the road, you know. You know, when I got to thinking about Airbnb, you know, is that not a small business? You know, I've been pushing real hard for what this town's gonna do for small businesses. And maybe with the code revision, there'll be some language in there that will address that. But in general, you know, the town doesn't have any property that's readily available for small business to come in and set up. And you guys know that. And, you know, maybe something will free up at some point down the road. And I doubt it, because modern seems to own a lot of it. But, you know, just the way it is. So those are my comments for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Murniak. Upcoming board commission meetings. The town hall will be closed November 10th for Veterans Day. November 11th at 11 o'clock at Academy Park will be the Veterans ceremony. I would encourage everybody, if you've never been to one of those ceremonies, to please attend. We have a gentleman in the front row here, Mr. Justic, who's very involved with those activities, and I think every year he gets more and more emotional about them. And so please attend that. Our work session on November 13th at 6 p.m. Our historic preservation on November 14th at 5:45 p.m. Environmental Commission on November 14th at 7 p.m. Our Zoning Board of Appeals on November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Planning Board November 16th at 6:30 p.m. And again, our public hearing on the 2024 budget November 9th at 5:30 p.m. And with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.